I'm Richard with SellHelper, verified Amazon advertising consultant, and in this video I am going to cover something that I have recently covered, but this is going to be a little bit more specific how-to video on adding SEO to your A+ content. It's not very difficult, but I want to show you kind of a process that you can use to actually add this. It'll work for back-end search terms as well, but I'm going to show you specifically how to do it with A+ content, just because, like I said, I've covered that recently. So I was in the middle of doing this already, and so I actually thought I might as well stop, kind of record the beginning process and show you what to do. So firstly, how do you get a keyword list to use for SEO? Now you might already have a list, whether that's from a search terms report or brand analytics. Basically, there are two ways you can go about this. You can use full search terms. So the product we're looking at is actually a customizable wallet. And so you could use a phrase like customizable wallet, or you could use just the words like wallet and customizable. There is a difference, and you'll see in a second here what I mean. So I'm just going to jump into the process here of how to do it. Firstly, I will show you where A+ content is. You should know, but just in case you don't, I'm going to go through that really quickly. Obviously, if you have a seller account, it's going to look like this, and you go to the little hamburger menu, and under advertising, A+ content manager is right there, and then that will show you your A+ content for your various products, and then you just click on one and it will take you to sort of the edit page, and that is where you can add your SEO. Specifically, we're going to add it here under this button in the corner of your images. It will say edit, and then right here is where the SEO goes. Whoops, right there in this image keywords. That's where the SEO goes. So how do we get this keyword list? Like I said, you could use a search term report, you could use a brand analytics report, you could even use something like Helium 10, which is what I'm going to use, and you can pull full keyword lists, and you can use those keywords as full phrases, or you can break them down into single words, which is what I'm going to do, and I will show you that process right now. So something I recommend doing is go to your category and just grab the top players in your category and just throw those ASINs in there, because what we really want to do is we want to get the biggest batch of keywords that we can. We don't really care specifically how they're performing. We don't really care about that. We just want the best performers, probably because they're most likely to have the biggest batch of keywords. So that's kind of the way to think about it. Anyway, you throw them in there and then you generate your keywords. We're using Cerebro, which is under tools. I have it here favorited, but if you need to find it, it is under keyword research here, Cerebro. Okay, so you get your keywords. Now, like I said, you can use this list and you can put these full terms in there, but you will end up using a lot of space for duplicate terms. So like, as you can see, men's wallet custom and men's customized wallet share 4 words in common, in that men's wallet is in one and men's wallet is in the other. The only unique words are custom and customized. So this is why I think it's probably going to be a better strategy to use single words, kind of like you would on the back end, instead of full search phrases, search terms. I've done both, and I still think that this is probably going to be your best bet. You just get more unique words when you do this, and I will show you how. So anyway, right up here is a word frequency list, and that is what you want. You can export this list here, and it will spit it out like this. This is CSV, pretty common format. Just remember that with CSVs, you cannot save multiple sheets, just so you know. So when you get a list like this, you're going to run into a problem. And the problem is specifically that your title and bullet points and other text on your listing probably has a bunch of these keywords. In fact, I know that this customizable wallet listing has the word wallet about 1 million times, because that's what it is. So you don't really need to put that in your SEO. You want to use terms that you might not otherwise use on the detail page, similar to the back end, although I would be apprehensive about using certain red flag type keywords. Specifically, I'm thinking of like supplements, for example. If you sell a blood sugar supplement, I would avoid using the word like diabetes or something like that. Yes, that is how people commonly search and find that product, but Amazon runs a really tight ship around making claims and using keywords like that. You probably can get away with it. I would just be very cautious and know exactly where it's at, just in case you get flagged, and then you can go remove it. Because I have had products get flagged for terms like inflammation or diabetes, all kinds of things, even in sections of the product details that don't show up on the listing. So like back end stuff. So just be cautious about the types of words that you use in this list for your SEO and on your back end. Anyway, we don't need the word wallet, right? So you're going to want to go through this list a little bit before you start this process, because you don't need certain things like men. Yeah, we don't need it because it shows up a million times, but then it's right here as well. So it's a good idea to kind of go through this list and get rid of things. There's also going to be things that don't really apply and don't really help from an SEO standpoint. Things like best or clip, in this case, might not be very helpful. Things that the word ideas might not be very helpful. Where you will get hung up a lot is Spanish keywords. The word para right here, it means four in Spanish, so that's not really going to be very helpful. You need to delete that. So just be sure to go through this list before we get to the next step, and the next step is going to look like this. I have a version I was working on right here, and you'll see I've added some formulas here. These are really simple. I really like them. They're very, very helpful. And basically what you do is you use a couple of Excel formulas to make this list building much easier on yourself. And it also keeps the lists unique. So you're not repeating words in different images. You're actually maximizing the number of unique terms that you can apply to your images. Now, if you've got a bunch of images, you can basically make as many rows as you have images. I will show you now how to actually set this up. So this first one here is the formula equals LEN, that means length, and then you put the cell that you want to measure the length of. So we'll put the cell next to it right here. Next, you want to use this formula, which is called text join. Text join, not join text, text join. And then you use a delimiter. The delimiter is going to be the character that is in between each term. I would use a space. I would not use any kind of punctuation. I would not do anything more complicated than that. Just add a space. The way you do that is using quote, space, quote. That will add a space in between each word. If you do not put a space in between those quotes, you will join all the text together as one string, and that will look like one big word. You don't want to do that. Use a space, quote, space, quote. That's all you need to do. Comma. You want to ignore empty cells because you deleted a bunch and we don't really want to overwork this. True, comma. Then all you have to do is highlight cells, okay? Then you add your next parentheses, and there you go. Now what this is telling us is that this string of text that we just joined from this column has 157 characters. Each of these images can only have 100 characters, and so what we need to do is basically lower this number, this second number, until our character count gets to 100. In this case, I happen to know because I already did it. That number is 25. Okay, that gets us to 100. If we increase it to, let's say, 28, that adds more keywords, as you can see. it added these two keywords that it didn't originally have. And so we've got too many characters. And that's all you got to do. Then you can just take this, copy it because you have more than one image, and then you start this one off at 26, and then you go down. Let's just go to 36. Okay, 36. We've got 56 characters. That means we can add more. Go to 46. We've got 106. That's too many. So let's drop it by 2. Go to 44. There you go, 100 characters. It's really that simple. This will give you really unique lists, and each image then can have its own unique list, and you can maximize the number of characters you're using because you are counting them as you're adding them. This is a really fast way to do it. Then all you got to do is Control-C to copy your list. You go into your A+ content and you just paste it in there. You can see that I've used all 100 characters, and then you click Add. Simple as that. It goes really quick, especially if you use Cerebro and can use these Excel formulas. They are super simple, but I wanted to make a video to show you exactly how you could do this. You can also use the same process for backend search terms, but the character limits are different. There's like a 2,500 character limit, but each of the categories can only hold 500. So you would just group strings in lists of 500 instead of 100. So anyway, hope that was helpful. If you found this or any other video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you need any help with Amazon advertising, you can always reach out to me directly via email, via LinkedIn, or on the website at saleharbor.com. There's a link in the description, and I will see you in the next one.